Can you hear anything? I can't hear anything.
I can hear you. Now
Oh.
I can hear you. You're in.
Can you hear me? Hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave.
Lynn.
Well, we don't both have to be there because we're together. I know.
You're in spirit. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm good. We're about to shovel a entire truckload of mulch into
How
the
fun.
So we're gonna go off a video and just be there for the energy transmission because by gosh, we're gonna need some.
We'll send you some power.
Send us the energy we need.
Exactly.
Yeah, I should. So I'm gonna mute. So, I can probably hear the highway. So
Okay.
I'll mute it.
Hello.
How's everyone?
Good. They're going to be shoveling some mulch, so they're just going to be listening. We're going to send them our power so they can get it done quickly.
Nice. Mulch.
Yes.
Awesome.
How are you?
Having a headache.
Uh-oh. Where's that from?
I don't know. Just lots of tension in the temple and back of the head.
I would hold stress
Maybe
back
stress,
there often.
maybe some mineral lacking.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miche.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
So Lynn and Andy are shoveling mulch, huh?
Oh,
good.
There's Lynn and Andy are out on the road getting some mulch. And
yes, they are.
They're just, being impromptu there.
Yep. They're listening in while I'm going to send them our power and energy to get it done quickly.
Oh, wait. Okay. Say that again. I had my audio way
I said
down.
they're listening in and we're going to send them our energy so they can get it done quickly.
Right? Yeah, definitely. There's a place along the highway where I guess the road crew's been putting all the limbs that they cut, they chip them, and they leave these big piles for anybody to just come and use them for their yard and whatever.
Perfect.
So, right?
A win-win, right? They need to get rid of it and you want it.
Right? Yeah. And actually, I wanted to talk a few minutes about synchronicities and things like that. I was driving with Lynn a few days ago and she was like, yeah, I really need to get some mulch to put in the dog run. And then, then she talks to Andy and there's this pile that's available and she wanted cedar, not just anything, right? And they have a pile of cedar in there.
You ask and you shall receive, right? Just be willing to believe it can happen, and it does.
Yeah. And a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from a woman about a ring that she bought from me, I don't know, probably 20 years ago or more. And now her daughter wants to wear it, and can I resize it for her? I said, sure. She's sending me. I got it a couple of days ago from Hawaii. And she sent me a picture of it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I used to make a lot of those. It's been years and years, kind of an old friend. Send it over. So I get it. And then this morning, I get an email from these women. They've been together for 25 years, engaged. And they said, they wanted to make sure. And now they're getting married. And they found my site on some place called liveabout.com, which
and you have no clue how it's there.
I don't know how I wound up there. I don't know how this picture wound up there or whatever. And they start saying, we were interested in this ring, but could you show us more views and more pictures? And I'm custom. I don't have any inventory anymore,
But you just happen to have the ring.
No way. I'm going to see if I have a couple of photos, but whatever. I scroll through the bottom and I see the image and it's the same ring.
Unbelievable, right? The universe is designed for us to, get what we need, right?
Yeah,
like you said,
exactly.
on Tuesday, right? That it's just, you said something about that. That's what reminded me of, what was it? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I was having a conversation with Gloria recently about noticing things and just talking to somebody, maybe it was you, about
Maybe.
like keeping a journal and just writing these things down so that you can go back and you look at, I mean, I have had actually so many things like that happen
Right.
that are just, it's beyond coincidence,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just clearly like something is going on there. And if you write it down and then you look and you got like, oh my God, I got 3 sheets worth of these incredible stories.
And those are just the ones you notice.
Right, exactly. And the other point is when you start looking and you start writing them down, or the woman that I learned the one command from talked about marking the moment, and one way to mark the moment is to write it down, or, it could be anything. It could be putting like a jelly bean in a jar, and then you look at the jar and you've got,
I see
hundreds
of them.
Yeah. So it's great for those days that you are not believing it anymore. You're mistrusting what you think is going on or what you feel like you've seen or able to do. And
then you have a jar full of jelly beans to prove you wrong.
Right. You're like, well, this jelly bean was no.
Yeah.
But if you're right, it's a little more specific, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know who else is coming or not coming. Any questions or things you want to bring up or ask about, talk about?
I just wanted to share with you that what I shared on Tuesday of not knowing what my gift was and willing to share that and showing an interest in wanting to understand it better. I think I know I received what that was today. So I'm happy about that. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That took 2 days. That's pretty darn
I know,
good.
right?
Even looking longer than that, but
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Right.
And shall receive.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hello, Ms. Linda.
Hey.
I struggled to find the link. It's true. Yeah.
I have to scroll all the way up through this feed and go, oh, there it is.
Okay, if you click on announcements, it's there.
Oh.
And it's right in the banner. Right in the banner, it says bit.ly / I don't know what it says, cats something. Anyway.
Oh,
but that
okay.
will work.
Well, good to know for
So-
next time.
Yeah. If it sinks in, hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, good to see everyone. Oh, I can't wait.
I
Can't
know,
wait.
right?
Mitsuko says, my battery's low. I'm going to move around. Yay. And I have a headache, shoulder for the past 2 days. Would love to get away from it. Okay. Excellent. We'll see what we can do. And the first thing I would suggest is let's get it away from you rather than you having to get it away from it. Right? Yeah. Easier, I think. Or, right? So, in saying that, I just sort of get this hit of just doing like, sort of a sweep around your head and out your shoulders, down your arms, and to just almost like separate, like if there was something and we're just kind of slicing it off and let it fall away like a shell almost. And we can just start there and see what happens from that. I think sometimes just even playing with the imagery of it or the metaphor, right? And kind of like when last week, Mizuko, you were helping Shannon get rid of her pain in the butt. So
Literally or figuratively?
Oh, it was both.
right? Started out as just a pain in the butt and then just sort of deepened, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was
discovering
great.
that discovering that
Yeah,
our
no, go ahead.
bodies holds on to emotional things that, it's like my emotions were about my view on a certain person was causing me to feel like they were a pain in the butt, which gave me a pain in the butt. So there you go.
It's true. Yeah.
So I have to be willing to, understand that and not view them as a pain in the butt. And I bet my pain in the butt will go away, right?
Yeah.
Or your pain in
So how did
the
that work?
neck. Whatever. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, even better. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah. Don't say to your kids,
Right.
oh, you make me pull out my hair. No.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Don't want to impress your subconscious mind on that one.
Right. Yeah. And okay, it's reminding me too of this one of the many modalities I trained in. Some was matrix energetics. And one of the things I really loved about this guy and his teaching was that he was just so playful, and he used all these metaphors and visuals and whatever. He was definitely one, when he was a kid, for sure, he was watching a lot of cartoons, and also a real movie buff, you know, and so he would take things from movies or a cartoon or whatever. And one of the techniques that he used, like to get information or to get something, let's say to help Mitsuko with her headache, was to literally just put your hand out, and like as if you were sticking your hand in, let's say like a pharmacy window or like a drive-through, right? And I'm just putting my hand out, and I'm just going to get like whatever it is that I need, and you don't even need to know what it is, you know, or maybe you bring your hand in into something. So along those lines, what I just saw from Mitsuko before I started to say this was like those old kind of diving bell helmets, right? This like big brass thing with a little bit of window, and the helmet, and just kind of sat on your shoulders. And well, how heavy and painful and annoying, hey Andy, was that? So simply lifting that helmet off and placing it somewhere else. And if it's too heavy, we can all help you to move it. Hey Lynn, hey Andy. Anyway, so I just, and like that could be it. Things can be just that simple. So Mitsuko says, thank you. And does that mean that you're feeling better for having removed your helmet? And a little more sight and movement? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, it does feel great to have a place to come and where we're all talking about this and feel supported, get extra suggestions. And I'm sure as you speak and as you focus the attention there's some help. So I'm going to trust and believe that
Good.
it's continuing to move. I do think that helmet kind of description does match as well. It's heavy and
Okay.
just
Yeah.
want to get it out.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, good. So we can just continue to see, the relieving, the lifting away of whatever pains and, tension are there.
Yes, please.
Great. So anybody else, questions, comments, thoughts before we just jump right into the whole energy thing?
I also quickly want to say that when you said 30 minutes, I thought that was good for me. Sometimes during the day, spending an hour feels like a big commitment. So when I heard 30 minutes, then I thought, okay, I'm a little more motivated to not miss this. Just a quick feedback.
Yeah, good, thank you. And it was actually my intention to not go an hour in general, but I tend to talk a lot and things just sort of go on. So I will, and it just keep us to 30 minutes. So thank you for that feedback. Also, if anybody's got like something specific, some kind of intention that they would like to throw out, it just put into the mix for the clearing and transmission to come. And you don't need to say it out loud, but you can share it. Thank you, Mitsuko.
I will. I listened to a really interesting astrology YouTube video today by an intuitive astrologer, and she was talking about how people are really kind of emotionally raw right now, and it's because the planets are aligned to open our hearts more. So that might be a really nice little boost to have the heart space cleared out and nice and open.
Yeah, good. Okay. All right, Shannon, anything you want to kick out there?
No, I'm here to receive what, anything is possible.
Okay, Andy, Lynn? Who knows what they're doing? They're probably shoveling. Now that they loaded up all the mulch, now they have to unload it. Most of it, I think, in Andy's yard, and then the remainder comes here. It's like we're running a construction crew. But I love that you guys are on the Zoom, you know, in the midst of whatever. So, okay, I'm going to just, you know, do my thing of sending energy and clearing and whatnot for the next 15 minutes or so. And come back and just have a quick check-in to see where people are at or how they're doing, what you may have come up because, well, if for no other reason, like I said last week or earlier, like my ego just wants to know what is happening when I'm doing this stuff for you or with you. Okay. And so the first thing that I just want to put out in this is that as we change and transform and continue to grow and expand, it can be done with grace and ease. And even as we're opening more, we're not opening to hold more of the collective grief or sadness, right? We're opening more to be more love and receive more love so that we can emanate more love. Great. Okay, Linda's going to lie down for this. Excellent. And yeah, anybody just get comfortable. You know, do what you need. Drinking water is always good. And just receive or let go, release, receive and release. And each person is going to get exactly what they need. I and my guides are working with each of you and your guides. There's a strengthening of the energy because we're doing it collectively, and still you get exactly what you need for yourself. Okay. Oh.
Ah,
Wow. That felt very deep for me.
it felt very wet.
Deep.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Linda Mitsuko yawned away, and Linda has a smile. Yes, indeed. Good. Yeah, there was a lot going on. Let's see if I can remember. At some point, I had like a little image connected to each one of you, and Mitsuko, with you, with your bell jar thing off your head, there was all sorts of like um, vegetables and just flowering things coming out around your head. You were just sprouting all this stuff, which was pretty cool. And let's see, Sean, I think there was like, no, that was Linda. There were all these like bubbles, this like effervescence, like coming from below and just going up. Lynn, there was a whole bunch of white little hearts all around you, and then just this like glowing white. Andy, I can't think of it. I don't know. Both of you can't get it at the moment. We'll see if it comes up. Tons of ideas, overwhelming. Mexico, yeah. Yeah, you got a whole garden up there. Lots of things growing. So did anybody notice anything or
No, it
shift of
was interesting is that you couldn't remember because I was very like everything was all over. So it was like very quickly. I just saw you going all this information just going zoom, 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 and it was hard to grab anything. It was just happening so fast. So it makes sense to me that you couldn't remember. I don't know what I got, but I know I got a lot.
Okay, great.
I love it. I thought it was really funny because when I laid down shortly after you started, and it was like my head started to throb, and I'm like, oh, am I getting a headache? And then am I picking up Mitsuko's headache? And then I'm like, wait a minute, this is the energy coming in. And it would be in such, like, it was so strange because there would be pulses in a specific tooth, and then it would move over to like the sinuses, and then it would move, like to really odd places. And it did that for a long time. And then it like stopped, and I thought, okay, we're done, right? But the healing was still going on. And then it came again, but differently. This time it felt like the energy was coming in through the crown and like being just pulled off center like that. And I thought, well, that's really interesting because usually it pulls it to get it more in alignment.
Right.
But I'm thinking it was like just like kind of to stretching it and making it more not flexible is not the right word, but more malleable. And then all gone. It was all lovely, and I know it did something.
Good.
right? Good for you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, all good,
Yeah,
Mitsuko, really. Yeah.
That's funny
Kinda.
when you mentioned the Mitsuko, because during the process I kept hearing Mitsuko is so happy, and I didn't understand. It's like that we're all, I get the gist now. It's like that we're all helping to heal this, that she's so grateful for it. So that's so interesting, because I was getting messages of Mitsuko. I was like, what is that about? So thank you for sharing yours.
Great. Whew, yeah, I'm still in an altered state.
I'm starving, and that always means that there's a lot of energy was
Right?
moved. Yeah, because it just
Hang
all of
on,
a sudden, yeah.
yeah, I guess we lost Lynn and Andy. Didn't notice when they disappeared, but that's fine. You know, mulch must be mulched. So,
Ha, ha,
wow.
ha.
Okay. I think we are complete for today.
Thank you. I love Thursdays. Yes.
Right?
Uh,
Thank
and,
you.
you know, I've been trying to get some of the other videos up, and my video compressor, I think I mentioned that on Thursday, is not working right yet. So as soon as I get that done, I will get that done and, you know, get these up to revisit or, yeah. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna go.
I'm like
Real-
that too.
A real quick question, Misha, really quick.
Yeah,
Is it
sure.
just the file you need to compress, or is it the editing?
No, it's just compressing at this point, you know, for like for this, I'm not gonna edit this,
Yeah.
right? But, well, now
Maybe
that
this end part.
well, you know, not so much. I mean, you know, the other people in our group, you know, it's like you get to be there as if, and maybe it'll encourage them to be there for the, you know, kind of funny, weird stuff that happens afterwards.
Well, I just would say to you is that there are online things where you can upload
Yeah.
and compress.
Right.
Okay, so
Actually,
except
that thing that we went in on together, that was for editing, but it might do that. Because I've been using Handbrake, which has been working until the other day. It makes it like this instead of keeping it, you know, a reasonable size. I was like, you know, anyway, I will, and thank you. And if, well,
Yeah.
Linda, if you have a
Yeah.
link you want to send me.
go rest, Misha.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
See you in
you.
the group around. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.